My landlord laughed when I begged him for more time to pay rent. He didn't know I had just bought the entire building that morning. His laughter echoed in the narrow, dimly lit hallway of the 4th floor. It was a cruel, grating sound that made my stomach turn. "You have until Friday, or your belongings go on the curb," Mr. Vance sneered, wiping a tear of amusement from his eye. I stood there, head bowed, playing the part of the desperate, defeated tenant perfectly. I even let my voice crack when I begged him for just one more week. What Mr. Vance didn't know, what he couldn't possibly have fathomed as he turned his back and walked away, was the secret sitting in my back pocket. Just 3 hours earlier, sitting in a plush downtown law office, I had signed the final paperwork. I didn't just have his rent money. I had bought the entire building. To understand how we got to this moment, we'll have to go back 3 years. Back when I first moved into Unit 4B, desperate for a cheap place to live. I was working 2 minimum wage jobs to fund my tech startup. Every penny I made went to servers, software, and keeping myself fed with instant noodles. The building was an absolute nightmare. The heating barely worked in the winter, the elevator was a death trap, and the pipes constantly leaked black water. But the worst part of living there wasn't the building itself. It was the property manager, Mr. Vance. He ruled the complex like a petty thousands of miles away in Florida and never visited. That gave Vance the freedom to populate residents and terrorize the tenants. If you were 1 day late on rent, he'd tack on a ridiculous $50 late fee. If you complained about the heating, he'd threaten you with eviction. I kept my head down. I smiled, paid my rent on time whenever I could, and ignored his insults because my escape was on. In year 2, my software company launched. At first, it was a slow trickle of subscribers, $10 here, $50 there. Then, an influencer reviewed it. Overnight, my servers nearly crashed. My user base went from 300 to 300,000 in a single month. The revenue numbers looked like phone numbers. Suddenly, I was a millionaire. I could have moved to a penthouse downtown. I could have bought a mansion in the hills. But I stayed in Unit 4B. Why? Because moving meant leaving the other tenants behind to deal with Vance. Mrs. Higgins on the 2nd floor, the single mom next door. I couldn't just abandon them. I wanted to help them, but handing out cash would only make them targets for Vance to raise their rent. I needed a permanent solution to the problem. That's when I found it. I was doing a deep dive into public property records and discovered that the absentee owner in Florida had quietly listed the building for sale. He wanted out. The asking price was $3.2 million. A year ago, that number would have been a joke to me. Now, it was just a business transaction. I immediately hired a corporate lawyer. I didn't want my name anywhere on the paperwork. We formed an anonymous LLC called Horizon Holdings. My lawyer approached the seller's agent with an all-cash offer, 20% over asking, on one condition: an expedited, absolute secret closing. The Florida owner agreed instantly. Meanwhile, back at the building, Vance was getting worse. He started sending out notices that rent was increasing by $300. People were panicking. I heard Mrs. Higgins crying through the walls. Vance was walking around the courtyard like a king surveying his conquered lands. He actually cornered me near the mailboxes one afternoon. "Hey kid," he said, tapping my chest. "If you can't afford the new rate, you better start packing now." I just looked at his finger, then looked up at him and smiled. "I'll figure it out, Mr. Vance," I told him. "I'm very resourceful." Satisfied, relishing the perfection of the timeline, the closing date was set for the 31st of the month, the exact day before rent was due. The timing was absolutely poetic. For 2 weeks, inspectors and appraisers came through the building. Vance thought they were sent by the Florida owner to refinance the property. He had no idea. Finally, the morning of the 31st arrived. I put on my best suit, a tailored navy two-piece that cost more than my first car, and went to the law firm. We sat in the boardroom. The seller's lawyers were there. I signed a mountain of documents. The wire transfer was initiated. 7 figures, gone in a keystroke. And just like that, the deed was transferred to Horizon Holdings LLC. As the sole proprietor of the LLC, I was officially the owner of the complex. My lawyer handed me a heavy brass keyring. These were the master keys. Then he handed me a manila folder containing the property management contract. Vance's contract. He worked for the building owner, which meant as of 10 a.m. that morning, Mr. Vance worked for me. I went back to my apartment, took off the suit, and put my faded hoodie back on. It was time to spring the trap. The first of the month, 9 a.m. Vance was doing his rounds, pounding on doors to collect checks. He loved intimidating people first thing in the morning. He reached my door, Unit 4B. He didn't even knock. He just kicked the bottom of the door with his heavy boot. "Rent, kid, now!" he barked as I opened the door. "And don't forget the $300 increase or I'm changing the locks today." I stepped out into the hallway, shutting my door behind me. I let my shoulders slump. I looked at the ground. "Mr. Vance, please," I begged. "I just need a few more days. The new rate is too high. I can't afford it right now. I just need a little more time." And that's when he laughed. That cruel, grating laugh echoing down the hallway. He looked at me like I was an insect on the bottom of his shoe. "You really think I care about your sob story? I don't care if you starve. Pay up by noon or you're out on the street." I let the silence hang in the air for 5 full seconds. Then I stood up straight. I pulled my shoulders back. The scared tenant act disappeared instantly. I reached into my back pocket and pulled out a crisp white envelope. I didn't hand it to him. I just held it up between us. "Oh, look at that," Vance sneered, reaching for it. "You magically found the money. Good boy." I pulled the envelope back just an inch out of his reach. "This isn't rent, Thomas," I said smoothly. I had never used his first name before. He blinked, his thick brow furrowing in confusion. "What did you just call me?" he demanded, his face turning a shade of angry red. I opened the envelope and pulled out the termination notice. It was printed on Horizon Holdings letterhead. I shoved it flat against his chest. "You're fired, Thomas. Effective immediately. You have exactly 1 hour to clear your personal items out of the management office, and then you're trespassing." Vance looked at the paper. Then he looked at me. He let out a nervous chuckle. "Is this a joke? Horizon Holdings just bought the building." I didn't say a word. I just reached into my other pocket and pulled out the heavy brass master key ring. I held it up so the metal glinted in the light. The color drained from his face entirely. He looked from the keys to the termination notice and finally up to my eyes. The realization hit him like a freight train. "I am Horizon Holdings," I whispered. "And this is my building now. Leave the keys to the office on the desk. Get out." He didn't argue, he didn't threaten me. The bully was gone. He just turned around and practically ran down the stairs. I never saw him again. The first thing I did the next morning was post a notice in the lobby. All rent increases were canceled. Anyone behind on payments was granted a 3-month